Dharma Bites is brought to you by Free Buddhist Audio, the Dharma for your life. Our work is funded entirely by donations from our generous listeners. If you would like to help us keep this free, make a contribution at freebuddhistaudio.com/donate. Thank you, and happy listening.
And as I said earlier, the worldly winds are a teaching which goes across all schools of Buddhism. And they're a great teaching, and you can read it in, like Vajragupta's got that book, hasn't he, on the worldly winds. I can't remember the title of it. Sailing the worldly winds. Exactly. And it's a fantastic reference point for Dharma practice. Yeah, I know in my own work, whether at Tara Loka or Adhisthana or holding responsibility, I'm trying to help make decisions or help the institution be free of the worldly winds. Like, how can I make the right decision for the right reasons? Not just because it allows me to experience praise, for instance, or is slightly more comfortable as a decision, or whatever it is, yeah? So, what requires us to work with the worldly winds? Because we're certainly, as we look at, when we look at this Pali Canon extract, we certainly have a preference to one side of the winds that blow. Also, just one more thing, which is this first quote, I think it's from the Unuttara Nikaya. So this is a Pali Canon description of the worldly winds. And there is something very similar between the Buddha in the Pali Canon and Milarepa with his disciples. So the Buddha, he meets a ploughman, doesn't he? He meets a ploughman, and the ploughman says, "Can you give me a hand ploughing this field?" And the Buddha says, "I've done all my ploughing." The ploughman might say, "In what sense have you done ploughing? You just look like you're just lying around and not doing very much." And he says, "I've ploughed this, I've done that," which is very like the Milarepa. "Can you give us a hand with the house? I've built my house. How are you earning your keeping? I no longer have to earn my keeping." There's this very direct conversation. And in the Pali Canon seminars and also in Milarepa seminars, you get Bhante talking about the enlightened mind erupting into a person's life, which I love this expression, like this moment where a different perspective cuts into our life, and just how we absorb the impact of that, in whatever way that happens. Sometimes it's just reading something and you have an aha moment, You understand something about yourself, or it speaks to you in a very particular way, or somebody just says something to you or to another person and you realise a perspective just cut through something.
We hope you enjoyed today's Dharma Bite. Please help us keep this free. Make a contribution at freebuddhistaudio.com/donate. And thank you.